Today, Teresa and I speak with Stanley Bronstein. Stanley is an attorney, CPA, life coach, and multi book author focused on two big missions: helping people reach their maximum potential and helping those who need it to lose weight permanently through healthy, sustainable lifestyle change without drugs or surgeries. We have with us today Stanley Bronstein. Welcome, Stanley, to Earrings Off.
Thank you for having me, Lou and Teresa. It's good to be here.
Well, thank you. We are excited about this conversation. So, Stanley, tell us, what was the moment you realized you had to change, and what did you do first?
Okay. February 1st, 2009. I know the date. I remember it well. A little over 17 years ago. I call that day my rebirth day. I just celebrated my 17th rebirth day 19 days ago.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I celebrate it every year. And it was 4 months before my 50th birthday. I weighed 320 pounds at the time, and I'm 5'7". And that was not even my largest. If you go back, 20 something years early, 20 years earlier, give or take, I was 367 pounds at one time.
I saw that.
I'm 5'7". I had a 58-inch waist. And
Wow.
today I'm still 5'7", and I have about a 31-inch waist.
Wow.
Mm.
No drugs, no surgeries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to tell you how I did that and what took place. Okay, so now what was the moment? I was getting ready to turn 50 in 4 months. I was 320 pounds. Hadn't had a heart attack yet. Hadn't had a stroke yet. Knees hadn't given out yet. But I think all those things were probably coming. Like many people do, men and women, as they're approaching a milestone age, they ask themselves, what am I doing with my life? Where am I
Mm-hmm.
at? And I said, where am I going to be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? Would you care to guess what the answer was?
Yeah, sadly, it might be that you wouldn't be here.
Dead.
Yeah.
And guess what? I didn't want to be dead.
Okay.
So I said, I need to make some changes here. Um, I told my wife, I'm done. I'm cooked. I mean, I was. I just mentally, I was done. So I said, what do I need to do about how to eat better? First thing I did, I quit drinking scotch. I was drinking scotch every day. I don't know if I was an addict or not, an alcoholic or not, but I was drinking it every day and I was drinking too much and I was serving it. It was not serving me.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in symbolism here. I took my last bottle of scotch, I poured it down the toilet, I hit flush. I haven't had a drink in 17 years. Don't miss it.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and it turns out it actually was easier to kick that habit than I thought it would be. And I think it's because if I was addicted to it, I was emotionally addicted to it, not physically addicted to it. You know,
That's an excellent point.
it's not like heroin, or caffeine, or something like that. It was emotionally. I might have missed it in the beginning, but I didn't go through detox
Hmm.
kind of thing. Then 2-liter bottles of soda pop. I was drinking three of those a day.
Oh, wow.
Three of them, Stanley?
Yes, but they were diet caffeine free, so surely they were healthy, right?
Right, right, right.
No, they were
No, they're
not.
not. They're
But
not.
but that's what the soda companies want us to think.
Yeah, you're right.
So I wised up, did the same thing, took my last bottle of soda pop, poured it down the toilet, hit flush. Two things done gone. Haven't had one of those in 17 years. Now, then I said, dietary change. Let's do something. I like chicken and turkey. So I said, I'm going to quit beef and pork. And I can go back on chicken and turkey, which was an interesting thing to do considering my father was a butcher and I grew up in a home with unlimited free meat. but but I gave it up. And then I said I needed some form of exercise. So I decided on walking.
Mhm.
And the reason I picked walking was I figured you could do it anywhere, anytime, almost anywhere, almost anytime. It, was didn't need a lot of equipment. And I figured it would beat my body up less than any other form of exercise.
Mhm.
So I said, I'm going to start trying to walk every day. Little did I realize how prophetic my words were. Well, anyway, so I started doing those things. And by the time I reached my 50th birthday, I lost 50 pounds. And I kept going and going for another 3, 4 years or so. And I reached a point where I said, I'm going to go a little further. And I gave up chicken and turkey. I went vegetarian. But I was still eating chicken, dairy. I'm sorry, I was
Mhm.
still eating eggs, dairy, that kind of thing. And since the day I went vegetarian, I've been sick one time in over 12 years.
Whoa.
And that was 8 years ago. And I define being sick is if I have a day where I'm too sick to walk 2 hours or more during that day, then I'm sick. So in the last 12 years, I've walked 2 hours or more every day except for 3 days when I was sick 8 years ago.
Mhm.
So I'm on an 8 year streak right now of walking that much. And then I kept going for another 4 or 5 years. I got down to about 180 pounds and I could not get smaller. I was stuck. I was on a plateau, all while I was walking 10 to 15 miles a day
Mm.
by that time. I went from a person who could only walk 2 or 3 blocks to a person who was walking 10 or 15 miles a day. And we're going to
Wow.
talk about that in a second. So I said, I'm doing something wrong here. So I analyzed my diet and I said, I'm going to give up cheese, butter, and ice cream. And those are three things that people love. And I did too.
Mhm.
Cheese, butter, and ice cream. You know what happened? I lost 50 pounds in like 5 minutes. I was waking up every morning, lost a pound, lost a pound, lost a pound, lost a pound. And
Wow.
those were fun days. But, and I actually got down to about 130, which was too small.
Mhm.
But I needed to do that to get the fat off of my body. And because I lost it so slowly, and because I did it with healthy eating, and because I was exercising while I was doing it, my skin tightened up. I wasn't
Okay.
left with a lot of flabby
Mm.
skin like you see, with a lot of
Yeah.
people
Right.
and the horror stories that you hear.
Yeah.
And that all tightened up. So after that, I put on about 15 pounds of muscle, afterwards, intentionally.
Mhm.
So I'd get a little bit bigger. So I did that. Now, I want to backtrack and I want to take 2 or 3 minutes and tell a powerful story that your listeners are going to love. You got to hear this.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I was not perfect in my experience. I had good days, I had bad days, I messed up. But the one thing I did was I never quit. See, that was what I did differently. In the past, I'd lost weight before, but when I
Mhm.
lost weight, I would quit somewhere along the way and then I'd go right back to my old habits. This time, if I had a bad day and I messed up, I said, okay, I'm going to start again tomorrow.
Mhm.
Fall down 7 times, get up 8. So that's the first lesson right there. Get started, never quit. If you
Mhm.
ever saw the movie Galaxy Quest, never give up, never
Mhm.
surrender.
Mhm.
I mean,
I
that's
haven't
seriously,
seen.
that's what you want to do. Okay. So I had mornings where I woke up, I didn't feel like walking. I was like, oh, I don't feel like this. Well, I remembered a woman I had met 2 years earlier named Peggy Chun. She lived in Honolulu, Hawaii. I wrote a book in 2007, 2 years earlier, where I drove around the country and I interviewed 50 people for a book I was writing. I gave, chapter was on each one of the people. She was the second person I met in Honolulu. And I didn't even know about her. Somebody told me you need to go talk to Peggy. And I did. When I met her, she was completely bedridden, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, could not speak, could not move. And the only way she could communicate, trained people would hold up an eye chart and they could read her eye movements and she could spell out words. That was the only way she could communicate. It took me like 2 hours to do a 20-minute interview with her. When I saw her, the thought that went through my mind was, if I ever get like that, please put a pillow over my head and take me out. But guess what? That was not Peggy's attitude. Peggy's attitude was, my grandkids are coming over later today. We're going to go out to the park. It's a beautiful sunny day. We're going to paint. We're going to have a great time. And then she said, you're going to go around the country and you're going to interview 50 people. Tell me all about these people. I want to hear all about them. I wished I could go with you. So this woman who was in a state where I would want to be dead had the most incredible joy for life of any person I have ever met in my entire life.
Wow.
So when I had mornings where I didn't feel like walking, you ever heard the saying, what would Jesus do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I started saying, what would Peggy Chun do if she could? And I said, Peggy Chun would have gotten her lazy butt out of bed and she'd have gone walking and she might not ever come back because she was having such a good time. So anytime I didn't feel like walking, I got up anyway and I said, this one's for you, Peggy. And I went and did it anyway.
Wow.
So that is a lesson. She's one of the people I've met who I will remember the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lesson there is you don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is die.
Yeah.
Everybody has to die. But you get to do things while you're still alive. I didn't have to go walking. I got to do walking. Peggy couldn't do it. I could. So that's a powerful story.
That's very, very powerful.
I figured your people would like that.
Yeah. It's very powerful. And I tell you, I didn't meet Peggy, but Stanley, I have to tell you, in the mornings when I don't want to get up and go to the gym, what I say to myself is, I'm getting up. I can sleep when I'm dead.
That's right.
And I hop out of bed ready to
That's
go.
right. There'll be plenty of time to rest when you're dead. I say the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, your story is also powerful. Thank you for sharing that, right? That the day you decided to change and you haven't looked back. I mean, that is amazing. So what do most people misunderstand about weight loss? And what do they need to focus on instead?
Okay. It's not as hard as you think.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And because we live in a society, they always tell us it's hard, it's hard, it's hard. And you know who's telling us it's hard? The drug companies who want to make money off of us selling us drugs.
Mm-hmm.
The people who want to make money off of us.
Yeah.
Are telling us it's hard. Is it easy? No. Is it impossible? No. It's all in mindset. It's learning what to do. It's making up your mind and it's having a system. See, this experience, what it taught me was I'm more powerful than I ever imagined.
Wow.
Way more. But it also taught me that if I'm more powerful than I ever imagined, so is everybody else. If you're listening, do you hear that? You're more powerful than you ever imagined. Start believing it.
That's the key, right?
Yes. And so then I said, how can I teach this to other people? Well, I'm an attorney and I'm a CPA. I've made my entire living taking complicated things and making them simple. Well, I said, I'm going to turn this into a system. And that system is going to be called the way of excellence. And the reason why I called it excellence instead of perfection is the goal is not perfection. The goal is excellence. You know why? Because we're human beings. We are imperfect. None of us are perfect. We're never going to be perfect. Don't even try.
Right.
Good enough is good enough. I became what I call a good enoughist. and then, but here's the beauty about excellence. Just because what you're doing is good enough, it doesn't mean you can't get better. It doesn't mean you shouldn't try to get better. It doesn't mean you won't get better, but just don't beat yourself upside the head along the way. Don't blame yourself. Just figure out what needs to be done and do it. Don't blame anybody else either. I mean, seriously, just figure out what needs to be done, start doing it. Take personal responsibility and realize what you're doing is a long-term game. Life is a long-term game. The problem is we live in a short-term world. Uber Eats, Alexa, Siri, Amazon Prime deliveries.
Yeah.
Streaming video, everything is right now, right now, right now. Well,
Yeah.
ask an Italian chef, can they make good spaghetti sauce in 5 minutes? They're
Mhm.
they're they're going to tell you no. That stuff's got to cook on the
Mm.
stovetop for 5 hours or more.
Yeah.
Same thing. It takes time. See, I've learned to think in decades, but act daily.
Okay.
Oh, I like that, Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 66 now. I don't know how long I'm going to live, but I plan on living a very long, very healthy, very happy life. And you want to know something? To show you how much I plan ahead, I have my next 100 years planned out.
All right.
Whether or not I'm going to make it, don't know. But I know what I'm going to do if I'm doing it.
Right. Wow.
And, so think in decades, but act daily.
Daily.
Uh,
Mm.
I
I,
like that.
yeah. So go ahead. Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stanley, what are the most common forms of self-sabotage that you see? And how can you help people overcome them?
Okay. First one, lack of belief. They think something's hard. They don't think they can do it. For many years, I didn't think I could do it. And to be quite honest with you, the experience of what I did blew my mind. It really
Mm.
did. It
Yeah.
did. But whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're going to be right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So start believing. Now, self-sabotage. They quit. See, I've already told you, I messed up along the way. It was not perfect. I had good days and I had bad days, but I did not quit. That's the whole secret right there. Don't quit.
Mm.
And that's what does it. And when you become 100% committed to not quitting, it becomes much easier. Much easier. Because there's something I learned. Let me ask you, Lou, Teresa, what are the three most important words in the English language? I used to say they were I love you.
I
Okay.
was thinking
Okay.
love.
I
Yeah.
used to say I love you. I've changed my mind. The three most important words in the English language are you willing?
Ah,
Because if you're willing to do what it takes permanently for the rest of your hopefully very long, hopefully very happy, hopefully very healthy life, you're going to get there. But if you're not willing, everything I've
Mm.
told you doesn't mean a thing.
Mm. Hmm.
You might as well forget everything I said.
yeah.
Okay.
Are you willing?
Wow.
See,
Hmm.
and on that day, February 1st, 2009, I became willing. That was the one difference. I'd lost weight before, but I was never willing to permanently make changes.
Mhm.
The minute I became willing to permanently make changes, I did it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Tell,
Wow.
tell, tell us about a little bit about the response of the people around you.
That's what I was wondering about, Stanley. Tell us about
Well,
that.
okay. I live in a neighborhood with 78 houses. The people see me outside walking pretty much every day. Some of the people have been here the entire time, and it still marvels them. And I'm the resident weight loss expert in the neighborhood. I'm the resident healthy eating person in the neighborhood. Once a year we have an annual party. This year we hosted it at my house
Mhm.
because I'm the HOA president, so we did it here. And everybody wants to eat my food because I'm vegan now.
Mhm.
And I make all these vegan dishes and they go, "That's vegan?" And I go, "Yeah, it's vegan. And it tastes pretty good too, doesn't it?" And so it's not, people have been very positive. I mean, I remember my best friend who grew up with me, from the time I was probably 5 years old. Oh, probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago, something. He lives out of town. We were getting together. There was some family function or whatever, and he was invited. And we got together and he saw me and I walked in wearing a suit. And went in and he just went, "Ugh."
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the word he said, "Damn,"
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
so it. That's fun when you get that. And see, and I've remembered that. I mean, we have one lady who lives in my neighborhood. Her daughter's getting married in like 6 months or so. So she's trying to lose some weight. She's out walking every day. She's doing better. So when I see her, I saw her the other day, I said, "How you doing, skinny?"
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, "I love you." Yeah. Makes her feel good, especially
Yeah,
if it's true.
Yeah.
right,
I
right.
wasn't making it up.
Yeah.
And it's what she believes,
Yeah.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's,
And
positive, positive, positive. You about to say something, Lou?
yeah, because I'm just blown away, Stanley, that you did all of this naturally, that you did it without surgery, without the drugs, and that you did this. You
See,
set your mind.
we're being sold a bill of goods when we're told that we have to have surgery and we have to have drugs. That's my opinion.
I
I'm
believe
not,
that.
I'm not a doctor,
Mhm.
but I've taken nutrition classes. I've done a lot of research, and I have lived experience. I
Right.
mean, I'll give you an example about experience. One of my neighbors is a cardiologist. He does surgeries all the time,
Mhm.
cardiac surgery. We were walking one day and we had a discussion about healthy eating. You know what happened?
Mhm.
He lost 30 pounds.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
it you can do it. It can be done. We don't need these expensive drugs that we don't know what the long-term side effects are.
Mhm.
We don't need to mutilate our bodies by cutting on them. We just need to learn to start eating healthy food and then movement. Can I give you 4 tips that
Yes.
Absolutely.
I give to people on
Yeah.
how
Yes.
to get started? Okay, first of all, I walk like a madman. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to do what I do.
Mm.
And the reason why I do that is because I can. I'm still pushing my limits. After 17 years, I haven't found them yet.
Mhm.
I'm
All
still
right.
working on them. That's how
Mhm.
powerful I realize I am and
Mhm.
how powerful you are. So here's what I would recommend to people who want to get started. And these are all things that if you're halfway able-bodied, they're things you should be able to do. If you're willing. Okay. First one, eat less processed food.
Yes.
Less McDonald's, less,
Mhm.
stuff out of the can, less frozen dinners, less frozen pizza,
Mhm.
you know, less Kentucky Fried Chicken, things like less. I'm not telling you none. I eat none.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm vegan now. I don't touch any of that stuff, and I haven't touched it for years. But I'm not telling you have to do that. Because remember what I said, just get started and keep going. And
Mhm.
over time, you will evolve. That's the same thing I did. My process was an evolutionary process. So less processed food. And I
Mhm.
mean, eat more fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, seeds. I have lots of recipes that are on my website that I'm going to tell you about. There are things you can do. There's tons of stuff out there, tons of stuff on YouTube,
Mhm.
where you can find stuff. Okay, now, two, quit eating 4 to 5 hours before you go to bed. That's another one that people don't always like, you know, and I'm going to tell you why I say that. If you go to bed at 11, quit eating at 6. The reason why I say that is if you give your body 4 or 5 hours without eating food, and then you sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours, you've given your body 13 or 14 hours to process the food that you ate the day before. That's long enough to trigger a process that's known as autophagy. And autophagy cleanses your body cells. It cleans you out. It makes you better. Plus, you'll go to the bathroom better. And one of the
Mhm.
things I tell people to do is eat more fiber
Mhm.
while you're doing all those things. That's what keeps you from getting sick, makes you healthy. So quit eating 4 or 5 hours before you go to bed. And that used to drive my mother-in-law crazy when I started doing that. She would take us out to dinner at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and I wouldn't eat. I told her I don't eat past 5. And she said, "You're nuts." And I told her, "Don't let my nuts be your nuts."
Mhm.
And I said, "Think of me as a cheap date. I'm here for the company and I'm here to socialize. I'm not here to eat. So think how much money you're saving." And
Right.
finally, that drove her nuts for 4 or 5 years. And then finally, one day she said, "You look really good and I'm proud of you."
Mhm.
It took her that long. See, that's another thing. You have to adopt an attitude that you don't give a damn what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
All that matters is what you think. Somebody asked me the other day, "Well, what if I go to the gym and I look real big and everything and I'm embarrassing me?" Who cares?
Mhm.
I don't care what somebody else says. When I started out, all these health experts who saw me walking, I was walking 2 miles an hour
Uh-huh.
in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, you're never going to lose weight that way. You have to walk fast. And I was walking 2 miles an hour for long periods of time. And so that's never going to work. Well, I had my annual physical the other day. My blood pressure was 95/55, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
put my blood work numbers up against any 30-year-old.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm 66. So all you people who told me I was doing it wrong, guess what? I must have done something right.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself. You know your body better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now, walk at least 20 minutes a day. And if you can't walk 20, do 15, do 10, do what you can. I told you when I started out, I had trouble walking 2 or 3 blocks, but I kept going
Mm-hmm.
and doing it 20 minutes a day.
Wow.
All you need to do. And if you can walk more, do more.
Yeah.
But and you know what happens when you start walking 20 minutes a day? You meet some very interesting people.
Yeah.
And can you guess who the most interesting person you meet is?
Yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
You do a lot
Yeah.
of thinking, you meet yourself, you learn
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
And then the last one, set aside 15 minutes a day, every day, just for yourself. If you take a quiet room, comfortable chair, bed, lay down in bed, whatever, wherever you want to be, meditate if you know how to meditate. If you want to pray, pray. Do whatever it is that you want to do for 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
every day. If you want to journal, journal. If you want an idea of what you can do in that 15 minutes, if you go to my website, which we're going to tell you about in a minute, first of all, everything on my website is free. And the reason why it is free, because it's not that I don't like money, I do. It is because it is my way of giving back. I am so grateful for the life I have and the life I have created. It is my privilege to give back and help others.
Wow. Okay.
I have people who hire me to work with them privately, but that's a different story. If you don't have money or don't want to spend money, it's there for free because I want you to have the information. So let me ask you, the drug companies, are they trying to make money off of us?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Am I trying to make money off of you? No. So
No.
maybe listen to me a
Yeah.
little.
Yeah.
So just do that. Those videos are on there. They're 8 to 12 minutes. Watch one a day. My system that I've created out of this, it's got 20 parts to it. If you watch one a day, in less than a month, you will have learned the whole system.
Wow.
Free, and the system will tell you what to do. There's a tab on there that talks about our healthy eating system. It tells you what I believe healthy eating is all about. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. Things like reduce your sodium or eliminate your sodium intake. Unless you're an outdoor worker. If you're an outdoor worker who sweats a lot, yeah, then you need sodium. Otherwise, you don't need to be eating food with added sodium in it. Added sugar, you don't need that. Learn how to read labels, nutrition labels. The label on the front of a product is garbage. The label on the back is what you should be looking at. I was in Walmart the other day. I'm almost finished at Walmart.
No.
I saw a new brand that they have called Better Goods.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I wonder what Better Goods is all about. I pulled out a package. It was frozen. It said Spanish skillet rice or something like that. I flipped it around. 3,500 milligrams of sodium in the package. Then right next to it was Better Goods frozen 4-cheese pizza. I said, flipped it around. 3,000 milligrams of sodium in the whole pizza. And I sat there and I said, these aren't Better Goods. They're just calling them Better Goods.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, that's my opinion.
Right.
So for
Right.
me, the way I look at it, the front is the marketing.
Yep, that's it.
So it was Better Goods that caught your attention, right? But
Yeah.
you know to flip it and see what the ingredient list has on it. Yeah.
Yes, and the people who follow my website and follow me know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the solution is not to get the companies to stop selling us garbage.
Yeah.
The solution is to educate ourselves, stop buying the garbage, and then guess what? When we stop buying the garbage, they're going to figure out that they need to sell us something else, and they're going to start selling us better food.
Right.
That's the solution.
That's
The power of the people. It comes from us.
Yeah.
That's right. We have the
Yeah.
power.
Yeah. So, Stanley, what is the £1,000,000 weight loss challenge? Who is it for, and why did you make it free?
Well, I think I already told you why
Yeah.
I made it free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I made it free because I don't want there to be a barrier in helping people. See, I have this crazy goal. The reason I called it £1,000,000 weight loss challenge, my goal is to get 50,000 or more people to lose 20 or more pounds each.
Mm.
I'd like to do a lot more than
Mhm.
50,000 people, but they got to start somewhere. I believe in dreaming big. So that's why I called it that. It's you go to that website, which I'm sure you're going to put in the show notes, and
Yes.
Absolutely.
it it's free to join, but you have to create an account. And the reason why you have to create an account is because I wanted to be able to control who uses the website and what they do there because that's why I didn't put it on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. I didn't want to turn it into a place where trolls could go to make fun of people who are trying to lose weight. I wanted to turn it into a safe space with controlled educational knowledge, inspirational knowledge there to teach people. There's tons of videos there. There's good stuff, and all the stuff that there is also duplicated on my other website, thewayofexcellence.com. So if they can just go to that one website and get that, and you don't even have to register to do that. But and what I did was I just disabled comments, and by
Hmm.
disabling comments,
Right.
that then I don't have to worry about trolls.
Right.
But that's what it is. And that's why it's free. Because look, over half of the people in the United States are obese. Probably 75% of the people are overweight or obese. Kids are overweight or obese. I don't like that. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a shame. I think we can do something about it. And, worldwide, there are 2 billion people who are overweight or obese. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do better than that. We live in a fantastic world, but it is crazy and it is mixed up and it is sick in many ways.
Right.
But I believe in it. I believe in the people who live in it.
Yeah.
I believe in people like you two ladies
Mm-hmm.
doing a positive thing, doing positive stuff. There's a message out there. We can get this done
Yeah.
and we can help people. And
Yeah.
that's how we change the world. That's how we
Mhm.
make the world a better place.
Mm.
That's right.
Wow.
I agree.
Well, Stanley, I tell you, those are all of the questions that we have for you today, and I'm gonna tell you something. When we have people on this show, Teresa vets people, and she might say to me later, Lou, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's something I want our audience to hear, but I have no concerns with anything you've shared today. And you might even have a new fan because I'm going to tell you, and I have no control over her contacting you after this, Stanley, because
I'm here.
you guys speak the same language. And I have to say, we applaud what you're doing and thank you so much for coming today on Earrings Off. But do you have any parting words for our audience?
Yes, you've got this. This is your time. Go for it.
Okay.
I like that,
Yeah.
Stanley. But
Yeah.
would you also just um shout out your websites?
Excellent.
Thewayofexcellence.com.
Got
Okay.
it. Hmm.
You,
Thank you.
you, you don't, you, if you want to go to the £1,000,000 Weight Loss Challenge website, you can, but it's all there on thewayofexcellence.com. And there's a link at the bottom. If you want to contact me, you can contact me. If you even want to just click it and say thank you.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
me feel good when somebody says thank you.
Yeah.
I
Well.
love that.
Well, I tell you what, we thank you for coming on today and sharing your knowledge and your experience with our Earrings Off our audience and with us. You've inspired us as well, and we thank you for that. We wish you all the best, and you take good care, Stanley.
Thank you.